So a quick update to yesterday's video I made on Bioware's internet situation. I promised I would keep you guys updated with what's going to happen now that the live stream had to be postponed because of course the unforeseen technical problems. And yeah, luckily we have some more details coming our way from Anthem's community managers, so we're going to be going over that. They've replied a few times here and there on the current situation in Austin where the live stream was supposed to happen, and according to multiple replies from them, the reason for that was because of the fiber line outside their building was pretty much cut and their backup internet provider isn't going to be enough to do a proper and stable live stream. Also, the internet service provider will require at least a few days to sort all of that mess up, so honestly I would rather take a few days of silence rather than having a botched live stream and having internet connections and delays over and over again. That can get pretty messy, especially if your backup internet isn't really that great. This of course raises a lot of questions now, over which I'll go in just a bit, including if this issue will also cause the entire update to also be delayed, say like until May, as some other users have asked. At least in this regard, we received several confirmations that no, the live stream has no impact on the release date of the game update, fortunately, and thank God that is not the case. On one hand, that is great news because it means we're still getting the big April update, well, in April. On the other hand, just as I suspected, it means we're going to be getting it towards the end of this month, which at this point is not that far off anyway, so we can wait a little bit longer, but it still sucks. Since all of the updates in the past always dropped by after the live streams themselves, this means that we can expect the newest patch to drop no sooner than the 23rd, so hopefully sometimes between Wednesday and Friday next week. This is of course the earliest we can expect it, but it can go even longer, up towards the 30th, though I hope for Bioware's sake that is not going to be the case. This leaves us almost no room to even fully implement the April roadmap, by the way. And speaking of the roadmap, if you're still wondering if that's going to be fully implementable, I can officially confirm you that right now that is most probably not going to be the case. Yes, the big features like the guilds, the mastery and the leaderboard systems, as well as the confirmed stronghold will most probably drop, but the open world events, which were stretched for the better part of this month, see very little chance to even arrive at this point. There's about 7 or 8 open world events on that roadmap, with each of them lasting anywhere between 1 to 3 days, which means it's physically impossible for Bioware to squeeze all of them into just one more week, so I don't see that even happening at this point. Not that that was a problem to begin with. I would much rather have some meaningful open world events with some more enticing rewards, if you ask me. So these open world events, as they were executed in the past, I didn't see too much reason to even participate in them, so it's not that much of a loss. I would rather lose them and see the big changes and the big new features coming up rather than these, but I just wanted to let you guys know, so there you have it. Now moving on to the other concerns and why so many players are now calling this whole situation fake, a hoax or a lie, is the fact that Bioware could have done a better job at handling this situation. I think a general outline of the upcoming features would have gone a long way with the already disgruntled player base, rather than just having a quick and cold "see ya next week" message. I mean, that's basically and essentially what happened with their initial response. One of the top upvoted discussion points right now emphasizes the fact that players don't even need a fancy video or to see developers' faces. All they care about is simply having this information and knowing what to expect from the game. That is pretty much all we need, and arguably Bioware does still have an internet connection, as they did mention having a backup ISP, and they're also posting on Twitter as we speak, so they could very well just go ahead, post a tweet or a post on Reddit and bring in the patch notes with that and be done with it. It would pretty much calm the waters tremendously, and we could have something to look forward to, which would be a much better situation than just staying here in darkness and not knowing what to expect. It's perfectly understandable for a secondary connection to not meet proper live streaming standards. I get that, especially when your main internet connection service provider is already somebody like AT&T or Verizon, but since that is more than enough to post on Twitter and bring in basic text, they should at the very least make use of that and use one of their channels to post these patch notes. But of course we all know that is not going to be happening. An alternative, as some other users suggested, would be for a video and to record this video, not live stream it, upload it on one of their main channels and then be done with it. In fact, I would argue that both of these suggestions should be taken into account for the future as well, not just for this one incident, and giving a fast and concise information they can double check in a controlled environment would provide a level of satisfaction that I don't think their live streams could achieve at this point. So yeah, it's just my opinion, you don't have to agree with it, but I think that a better way to deliver all of this information should be considered outside of these live streams, which oftentimes don't really get to the point and are oftentimes delayed by a lot of unnecessary talk in the background. With that being said though, this is all we have for today, everybody. As always, if you enjoyed this video, a like and a subscribe would be much appreciated, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video, so peace out.